Welcome back. For today's video, going to be doing a fun hypothetical 2020 Electoral College map. And this is going to be a matchup between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. And we're going to solely project this map based on the Real Clear Politics polling average, and then also using 2016 as our baseline. So first, we're going to take a look at the numbers. And right now, the Real Clear Politics polling average has Sanders defeating Trump by 6.3 percentage points. We contrast that back to 2016. The Real Clear Politics polling average had Clinton 3.2 percentage points above Donald Trump. So we're going to make the assumption here that this is the difference in the national polling picture. So 6.3 minus 3.2, that gives us a positive 3.1 percentage point advantage to Sanders over Trump, in contrast to what Clinton had over Donald Trump. And now we're going to use the 2016 map of what actually happened, and essentially every result that was within 3.1 percentage points of Trump winning over Clinton, that is going to be flipped now over to Bernie Sanders as a possibility of what we could see in 2020 based on the polling data. So based on this strength of Sanders, just slightly over what Clinton was showing against Trump, 3.1 percentage points difference to his advantage, we're going to just start at a baseline of making the assumption that every state that Clinton was able to win, we're going to continue to give over to Bernie. So that starts out in Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Hawaii, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Illinois, Virginia, the District of Columbia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and the state of Maine, but minus the 2nd Congressional District, which Trump was able to win. And now we get into the more interesting results. So again, like I said, all of those where Trump won, but it was by less than 3.1 percentage points, those are what we're going to be flipping over to Sanders. But all the states that he had more than that in terms of his strength in that matchup against Clinton, he's going to continue to keep in this hypothetical scenario. So starting out, Idaho was an absolute blowout for Trump over Clinton, as well as Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska hold for the 2nd Congressional District. I'll come back and talk about that one a little bit more in depth later on when we get to those really close results. But Kansas, as well as Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, and that's what I'm going to hold for now. The rest of the states were a little bit closer, so we're going to take a little bit more time talking about those results. So first, I'm just going to start with the 2nd Congressional Districts in both Maine and Nebraska. So up there in the state of Maine, Trump defeated Clinton by about 10 percentage points, so not close enough to that 3.1 percentage point difference. So we're going to continue to give that one over to Donald Trump. Now, the 2nd Congressional District in Nebraska, it was a 3.3 percentage point advantage to Donald Trump. And again, this one is close, but still at the end of the day, a razor-thin margin based on this polling difference that we're doing for this video. Going to continue to be giving that one to Donald Trump. Now we're going to head out west to the state of Arizona, which is going to be very competitive in 2020. It was actually pretty competitive as well back in 2016. Donald Trump defeated Clinton by 3.5 percentage points. And again, close, but still no cigar here. Going to be continuing to give that one over to Donald Trump. The state of North Carolina, it was a 3.6 percentage points difference. And again, very close, even with that 3.1 percentage point advantage strength to Sanders, but still not quite enough. Going to be continuing to give that one over to Trump. Georgia was within about 5 percentage points. Still, again, close, but still going over to Donald Trump. Now, Florida was within 1.2 percentage points. We finally get a state that is within that magic number of 3.1 percentage points. So we're going to flip this one over to the Democrats and Bernie Sanders. They actually had won the state of Florida in 2012 and 2008 with Barack Obama, and then coming up just short in the state in 2016. Basically always going to be a competitive result there in the state of Florida in presidential election cycles. Ohio, a state that Obama was able to win twice. Clinton, not nearly as competitive, an 8 percentage point gap there. So we are going to continue to give that one over to Donald Trump. And then we get to the most important states, the closest results that we had back in 2016. Wisconsin was within 0.7 percentage points, as well as the state of Pennsylvania. And then Michigan was within 0.3 percentage points, well within that 3.1 percentage points difference. So we're going to be giving all of these 3 key Rust Belt states over to Bernie Sanders. So this is a hypothetical of what we could potentially get in 2020 based on the Real Clear Politics polling average of what Sanders is showing right now against Trump, contrasting that to the difference that we saw between Clinton and Trump back in 2016, and then comparing that against the 2016 actual results. And I actually wouldn't be surprised in 2020 if we had a Sanders-Trump matchup or even a Biden-Trump matchup, a Warren-Trump matchup, if this ended up being the final Electoral College map vote of 307 to 231 or something within this ballpark. So that's going to wrap this video up, guys. I appreciate you stopping on in and watching all the way to the end. Consider subscribing for more, and I hope to see you guys back here for future videos.